Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the G.I. Joe classified figure, the Saw Viper by Hasbro. Now in all honesty, when this figure originally came out, I wasn't a huge fan of him. Not so much because he wasn't a cool figure or anything, but it was around that time when I was starting to get out of G.I. Joe. So I guess that would be more late 80s, maybe mid 90s, somewhere in there. So it was around then when I was starting to, move on to other things other than action figures and stuff in my life. So, but looking at this guy in packaging, he does look pretty cool. You can't go wrong with a chainsaw with an action figure either. So I'm kind of excited to take a look at this guy out of packaging. So with that being said, first off, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And for any of you who haven't subscribed, if you like this video, please subscribe and also check out my G.I. Joe playlist. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. So here he is in packaging. He has the standard G.I. Joe classified packaging. So you have Cobra up there, his name. You have this open window so you can see him, all his accessories. The Cobra logo, G.I. Joe classified. Your choking hazard, age restriction, and Hasbro. Spin him around here. You get a pretty decent view of him, like a profile picture. It's all right. I think either the picture should be a little bit smaller or it should be a little bit wider because I'd like to see a little bit more of him in this picture. You got your G.I. Joe logo there with his number. Spin him around here. Get a nice picture of the figure. Some shots of his special features. And under here, you got your legal. Spin around here. You have a continuation of the window, his number, the Cobra logo, his stats, and his QR code. Spinning around this way, you got the Cobra logo and his number. And then underneath, you got the rest of your legal. So with all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is, out of packaging. He's a pretty cool looking figure. I love the overall look to him. So first off, we're going to start with the rotation. So you have this side here. You got his back. You have this side. And back around to the front. All right. So let's start looking at some of his details a little bit closer up. So first off, the head sculpt looks pretty decent. I like the look to it. All right. But it's hard to see some of these details because you do have the ring in place. But this should just pop off. Just like, there you go. So now you get a better look at the head. So you have a mic here and everything. All right. You got your flat jacket. Now I notice this jacket and this neck piece reminds me a lot of tripwire. So that's pretty much reused. His belt buckle got like a greenish metallic look to it. He has his padded armor all the way around on his arms and legs. He has a spot right here for his knife. Bring this arm up. Has a spot here for his pistol. And of course he has a hole in the back for his backpack. So now that we've gone through all that, let's start going through his points of articulation. So first off, his head does move. He has a shoulder joint with a swivel. Now he has all this padding on him, and all this padding is loose. So it might interfere with your joints. You may have to play with it a little bit to get the arm up, as you see. So that might be something, just, an FYE. All right. So there we go for that. Move the elbow, a little bit tight, but it does move. And you got the wrist joint. Now, normally with these figures, there should be a joint right underneath the ribs. It is there. So you do get that movement. You also have a joint here at the hips. All right. Spin them around this way. You have your thigh joint with a swivel. You have a knee joint. A little bit tight, but it is there. Now, it don't look like you have a boot swivel. Most of your classified figures right around here would have a boot swivel. He doesn't have that. And then you have your ankle joint. So everything seems to move pretty well. The knee joints are a little tight and the elbow joints are a little tight, but you still get your movement out of them. All right, so now we're going to start looking at his accessories. So first off, we have the neck piece. You saw that when we looked the figure over. All right. He has his helmet. Helmet looks pretty cool. I kind of like the overall look to that with the like lime green visor. And he has a knife. All right. He has a pistol. All right. He has a small chainsaw. All right. He has a large assault rifle. All right. He has a belt feed for the ammo, which will feed right into this backpack here. All right. So let's start looking at his accessories. We're going to start off with the knife and the pistol. All right. Get that elbow moved. So we're going to do the knife first. Maybe. There it goes. All right. Work it on in there. So knife fits fine. No issues with that. Get the pistol. All right, so the pistol does fit fine in his hand. No issues with any of that. Pistol out. You got your holster right here. Get that on in there. Boom, slides right in. No issues. All right, get the knife back here. All right. Boom. Like it should. All right. Get the chainsaw. Put it in this hand here. Open up those fingers a little bit so we can get that on in there. All right. Chainsaw fits nice. No issues with the chainsaw. Right. Now for his helmet. Right. The helmet fits on really nice. I don't know if I want to put this neck piece back on. I think it kind of looks a lot better without it. And we already saw that it does go, oh, all right, we got to put it on just because it's part of the figure. All right. I might choose to display mine without it. I think it kind of looks cooler without it. But you don't look too bad with it. You know, I guess it's a little bit extra protection for the guy. So now we get into the big stuff. All right, so first off, you got your pack here. Now your belt feeds right into the bottom here. So I'm putting that in first. All right. And then the pack just sits onto his back. All right, just like that. So spin them around this way. Oops. You can see the belt in the pack. All right. And now for his gun. All right. So this is a two-handed weapon. So this hand will fit down in here like this. Extend this arm up. So he can also hold this. Open up those fingers for this. All right. Get that back on here. And now for your belt. It's probably a lot longer than it needs to be, but it is what it is. Right. Feeds in just like that. All right. So the machine gun works well with the backpack. Everything fits fine. And then your final touch is the blade here goes on just like that. So now you kind of have your Warhammer 40K / Gear of War look to them. All right. So everything fits very nicely on him. Now he does have this peg on the back. I'm guessing it's for either the gun or the chainsaw. Let me take a look at this chainsaw. All right, it's not for the chainsaw. It would make sense if it's actually for this. So, because what I'm guessing this thing probably does. I guess you could probably hook this on like that if you want to. Have it onto the back, because that's the only thing I could see working with that. And then you could just put the belt feed through here, however you want it. All right. And the only issue with that is, there's nowhere for the drum, so you would probably have to put the drum off to the side. But as you see, it does fit on there pretty well. All of his accessories seem to work very well. I don't have any issues with any of that. Okay, so my final thoughts on this figure is I like him. He does look pretty cool. I like the overall look to this guy. His joints seem to work pretty well. The elbows were a little stiff, so were the knees. You can add a little bit of hot water to that if you want to. But overall, everything works with him. All his equipment works fine with him. I don't have any issues with the way the figure looks or how things work. The only thing, and this is just a personal thing, that I have an issue with this guy is his name, the Saw Viper. Like, when you hear a name like that, you're thinking, all right, man, this guy's going to have some sort of big menacing chainsaw or some sort of wicked evil looking saw, but instead he has this. All right. That looks like something like your gardener would use to trim hedges with. I would expect something bigger, more menacing, something that looks really, really cool instead of a little saw that, just hooks up underneath the gun. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I was expecting something like Doom looking kind of chainsaw to come with this guy, but I do have road pigs, so if I really wanted to have a killer saw, I can always give them road pigs. But that's the only thing that I personally find disappointing about this figure is that I feel like the name doesn't fit the character. Like, once again, and I said this once, and I'll say it for the last time here, I was just expecting something meaner, bigger, some sort of really cool saw, chainsaw or other that just came with them instead of, well, this. So, overall, I like them. He'd definitely be a good fit with the rest of your Joes and what have you. So, with that being said, I hope you all did like this video. If you did, go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So, until the next one, late.